What's up, guys? So back with another Honkai Star Rail video. And before we jump into it, I know this is a Harmony tier list. I just want to say I was going to do Harmony MC showcases, and all the videos I have planned down either take a minute to set up or involve the Harmony MC in some way, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit busy today, right? And it may or may not be 3 times shiny weekend on POKEROUGE. I've mentioned this once. I'm a big Pokemon fan, but like I was like, okay, I'll just hop on for a little bit, play, and then I will, get back to the grind. And I did that. I went back to the grind and realized, yeah, the Harmony MC kind of gets a little rough near the end levels when I didn't really have any quest to fall back on. I had to start doing chests and birds, so that took a while. So here we are. Also, look at all my shinies though. Like if you don't know Pokemon, anything about Pokemon, shiny Pokemon are just like a random chance. Think of it as getting like a really good relic drop, I guess, but anything with like the yellow star next to it is a shiny. So you can see I've been going a little crazy, I dabbled some PokeRogue. Very cool, very cool. Lots of shinies, right? But we are here for this. Also, good lord, PokeRogue is just very beefy of an application, even though it's a browser game. Absolutely was destroying OBS as I closed it. But anyway, let's jump into the actual video. So, we have 8 Harmony characters, right? Well, technically we have 9, but the Harmony MC, I haven't used them yet. So I will rank all of the Harmony characters. I've used all of them. And then I will put the Harmony MC where I think he's going to be. I think I'm good enough at the game to, judge a character based off of their kit and then the few gameplay clips I have seen of it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The reason 1 and 3 and 6 and 7 are where they are is because I think the characters are around the same tier. But other than that, you can debate stuff all you want. This is just my personal preference as always, but let's jump into it. So first things first, Ruan is number 1. I think Ruan is better than Robin, as Ruan isn't really, I wouldn't say nerfed by her ultimate, because that would be like, discrediting Robin, but I've never really been like, oh dang, Ruan ult's not up. I normally just get it super easily, or I feel like she just gives enough on her own, compared to Robin, where I feel like I'm always just rushing to her ult. To be fair, it's because of action advance and all that, and she does damage on her own. But Ruan also providing speed and break efficiency is super nice. Robin's more of a just damage, where Ruan is more of like a, I don't want to call her sustain because I feel like people will lean into that a little too heavily, but she can help survivability with weakness breaking, the target after the weakness broken, and weakness break efficiency, more speed. So she's very nice, right? But Robin, I think Robin is rather close. Then in third is Sparkle. Sparkle is really good. I don't have Sparkle, so I haven't used her a ton, but the skill points are just so good to have. Plus the action advance and the crit damage boost. Sparkle is very nice. Plus Mono Quantum loves her, even though I don't have Zele. So, well, I also don't have Sparkle, but Mono Quantum's cool team and all that. Then in fourth we have Bronya. The thing with Bronya is I personally like her over Sparkle, but I also have to sit there and look at myself in the mirror and go, okay, you don't own Sparkle, so you're slightly biased. You also have E2 Bronya with Light Cone, so you're hella biased, right? The fact that Bronya can't really help burn through skill points without dupes, kind of rough, I'm not gonna lie. Her Light Cone does help, but I'm not looking at these characters with their Light Cone. Bronya, kind of skill point hungry, so she gets knocked down a peg, considering Sparkle is like this, I wouldn't say the same unit, right? Because Bronya has 100% action advance and she has the cleansing, but Sparkle has Bronya's kit and then the main issue solver as well in her kit, which is skill points, so I can't put them on the same tier, unfortunately. Bronya is very good still, though. Then in number 5 is, of course, Tingyun. Tingyun is still extremely, extremely strong with all the energy, the attack buff. I've seen a lot of people run Tingyun Robin, and they use Tingyun's ult to give Robin energy for her ult, or your DPS if you don't need the energy, so that's pretty cool, right? Tingyun's probably still used on every other team that Tingyun's used on. I don't use her too much anymore, mostly because I had to give her relics away to other characters. Mostly because for some reason every time I rolled a relic on Tingyun, it just went to crit damage and not attack percent. I was like, okay, that's cool. Anyway, but I plan to use Tingyun rather soon again, just to like re-familiarize myself with Tingyun, because she is a very cool character. And so far, minus Ho, who's not a Harmony character, we don't really have characters who give energy like that. So shout out to Tingyun. I mean, the second we get a 5-star version of Tingyun, I'm sure they're going to be #1. Especially if their AoE give energy. I imagine it would be nearly as big as Tingyun. But can you imagine AoE Tingyun? That would be crazy. But let's get into 6 and 7, which I think are Hanya and then Asta. I feel like these are both a toss-up, because I feel like I may not have used Asta enough to value her, but I really, really like Hanya. The skill points is nice. The speed is nice. But Asta also has the attack. She has really good break efficiency with her skill. If it hits the same target, it burns through the toughness. And then her ult's nice, but I always feel like, maybe I'm just bad at the game, or at least I was bad at the game when I used Asta, but I feel like her ult just didn't hit as much as I wanted it to every time I used it. Maybe I'm just like thinking that her ult should just like 100% action advance like Robin does or something, but I never really liked her ult too much, as I feel like I wish it did a little bit more, but also I use Asta to get in the game, right, for the most part, and I haven't really used her too much near the end game, but I feel like these are pretty viable. It just depends on really what you need. Like if you need skill points and you're focused on a hyper carry, you know, Hanya's obviously better. If you have like 2 DPSs and you just need a little bit more skill, or not skill, speed, I wouldn't say speed, sorry, I don't know the actual term for, I guess, your place on the action bar, and you need it sped up a little bit to either get into a cycle or pass an enemy. Asta is very good for that, especially because it's team-wide, so she does have her merits there. It really just depends on the situation, who's better than who. And then lastly, but not least, but definitely least, I lied to you, I'm sorry, is Yukong an 8, just because Yukong's a little bit weird to play. I still think Yukong is very strong, but I'm going to be honest with you, if you have to sit down and think about your character, most people aren't going to like that. And the reason for that is there is a lot of casual players who want simple characters. Now, simple characters are going to be characters such as, you know, like Ratio. You just skill and spam skill, and then, well, I guess the ultimate takes a little bit of skill. Ironic, right? As I just said that. To use, because you want to make sure you're hitting, like, certain enemies with it. But regardless, people like just having a character they can hit skill on, and then when the ult comes up, you ult, and then you just hit skill for, like, a DPS. I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, this game is a turn-based RPG, so you're going to have to put some skill into it. A lot of people just aren't like that, right? It's just how it is, right? I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and even I'm somewhat guilty of this. People just like to mash attack and just not think about anything, right? It happens. There's so much more to Kingdom Hearts than just mashing attack. And just like Star, there's so much more than just mashing the skill button, but people like it. And the fact that Yukong requires some timing, some setup, you know, you have the time when you do certain things, people don't like that. And so she is lower than I think she should be, but I still think that she's just not nearly as good as the other characters, especially with how skill point hungry she can be with the, like, I feel like I always want to have Yukong skill up, and that just rips through skill points. So yeah, until then, I mean, we'll probably get a light cone. I say this, Bronya's exist, right? But that's really just ult. I want a light cone that maybe helps with skill point management for Harmony units. I feel like that'd be really strong. I don't know how they would do that quite yet. Knowing Hoyo, they'd probably make a limited 5-star, so then I'd be inclined to not really get it, because I'd be focused on other stuff. Unless I really like the characters attached to it. But I think a Harmony light cone that helps with skill points that isn't just the Bronya ult one would be kind of cool. And depending on what it does, you know, I think Yukong could probably rock with it. Therefore, I'm more inclined to use the skill more often. But other than that, I'm pretty confident in this one. I'm pretty confident in this, right? And then for the Harmony MC, I just based off the kit, I think they're probably going to be around here. I think they're probably going to be like Bronya tier. I don't know if they'll be better than Bronya when Boot Hill comes out. Probably. But we'll have to see, especially at E6, since everything I've seen is just E5. If E6 is as cracked as all the calculations say, you know, getting your ult a bit faster will be very, very helpful. But I'll have my definitive spot for the Harmony MC on the tier list once I actually get him. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and post this video and get back to grinding, and hopefully you guys will see a morning upload about the Harmony MC, maybe. If not, then you just know that I took way too long, and it's like probably like 6 in the morning for me as I'm recording that. So that'll be fun. But then that'll be it for the video. Let me know in the comments what you think of the Harmony tier list. Do you think Robin is placed well? Do you think anyone else in the tier list really needs to change? I think everyone else is pretty solid where they're at for the time being. Robin just kind of slid in between Sparkle and Ruan and called it a day. But then thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next Star World video.